incredible to be here.
Tom, this is actually your first Hall H, correct?
Yeah, this is.
What do you think of it?
I'm a bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I know everybody's very excited to not only hear your answers, but also check out what you guys brought as far as checking things out. So let's get it started. Ruben, tell us a little bit about the film. What can we expect from this Venom movie?
Well, I just want to say how excited I am to be here. We came here, I first came here with Zombieland almost 10 years ago. So to be back in Hall H is incredibly exciting. But, you know, a little bit about Venom. We made this movie for you guys. So that's why we made the movie. Because we share a passion about this character. As we all know, he's a much darker character, and I think that's what distinguishes this movie. Unlike other Marvel films, this is a much grittier, grounded, complicated character, more violent, and unlike most superhero movies, there's no heroes really in this movie. It's full of complicated and complex characters, like this guy who's trying to bite people's heads off the whole time, and this guy who's like an evil megalomaniac who's trying to take over the world.
As one does.
As one does.
As one does. So what was it about Tom that made you feel like he was perfect for Venom?
I think we all know the answer to that one.
That's
There's no one more perfect to play Eddie Brock in Venom. But for me, as a huge fan of Tom, I love pretty much everything. No, I can say officially everything he's been in. So when I heard he was excited about playing Eddie Brock in Venom, it was like a dream come true. There's just, for me, no one more exciting to watch on screen. He just brings so much complexity and depth to every character he inhabits. There's a danger and a complexity, and with what's unique to this character is just that duality between Eddie and Venom, and you know, watching what he does with everything he inhabits, he just elevates it to the next level. So it was a dream come true to find out that he was interested, and it's been an absolute pleasure working together on this film.
awesome. Tom, what is it about Venom and Eddie that appealed to you?
First of all, thank you, Ruben. That's a really lovely way to speak about me. I feel a bit. That's really kind of you. Venom is by far, like, for me, the like, I don't want to like upset anyone, but I think he's the coolest Marvel superhero. And I just like the way he looks, first and foremost. Then also there's my son, and he's a massive Venom fan, and he was a very strong influence on me as to why I ought to play Venom specifically. So I wanted to do something that I really wanted to do something that my son could watch, you know, because a lot of the films that I've done are normally pretty aggressive or violent, or I swear a lot, or you know. And so I did something where I bite people's heads off instead. My son can't see it, you know. So for the best of intentions, yeah, I got involved in Venom for the material and the opportunity. You know what? I'm just going to go on and on and on and on talking why. But would you like to see some footage? Because we brought some with us. I think that'd be better than me talking. So you want to play the footage?
Love you, Tom!
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic, guys.
Still work in progress. We got a couple months till we're done. So those VFX are still a little rough.
I think it was great. Well, so Tom, tell us a little bit about bringing Venom to life. What is it that you did in order to approach him as a character?
Well, it's what's that? I got a parasite. Yeah. Like no, well, it was so fairly standard operating procedure. I read the script. I fell in love with the character, and it's a double act. So there were two characters that I'm playing. And I'm a bit of a geek about acting, so I wanted to play. I did a film called Legend, where I played two brothers. And I thought could do a similar technique, but this time I get to play with a huge, like, visual effects monster with an abundance of money to spend on it, and to see how far I could push that. So I got to give a lot of props to the sound boys, Coffee and Patrick, who actually, I would record Venom up first before I did a scene with Venom, or other actors who had to work in the scene with Eddie Brock and Venom together, but they couldn't hear necessarily Venom, but I could. And the sound boys would listen to my cues or the other actors' cues and have to play or interrupt other actors with the right lines at the right time. So the sound boys, Coffee and Patrick, actually technically played Venom, if that makes sense, and then Mr. Franklin created Venom, and I just kind of played Eddie Brock.
That's really cool. So it kind of was able to give you kind of those instantaneous reactions, and it's because you're hearing it in your head all of a sudden?
Yeah, so I wear an earpiece. I would record, like, so it depends. If I'm Eddie Brock and Venom is talking to me, then it's just me that hears it. But all the other actors don't know when they can speak. So it's kind of a technical piece.
Yeah.
So it's really a geeky kind of answer. I'm going to give you this, like, it's very slow and methodical recording experience.
Yeah, it's like a technical dance.
Completely, yeah.
But as a director, it was just so exhilarating to watch him have these conversations with himself all at once. I mean, seriously, like, because he is two different, beings are occupying him, living in his head simultaneously. The way he's able to be interacting with Riz in a scene, but also reacting to Venom, who's talking to him in his head. At the same time, just watching at the monitor, it was just, so fun to see the way he was able to create this world.
That's awesome. So can you tell us also a little bit about Eddie as a character?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we stayed pretty close to the Lethal Protector, but Eddie Brock, he's I want to say like an investigative journalist that has a documentary show is on in our world, and he falls on hard times, which is kind of similar to how he did in the comics, but we've created a Venomverse, as it were. So he falls on hard times and out of favor with his partner and his wife, or not his wife yet, as it were. And he's a bit of a loser in some aspects, but he's the kind of guy that he does. He's an anti-hero, so he'll figure on a goal and he'll do whatever he has to do to get to that goal, even if that means going around the outside and doing some naughty or bad things to get there. So
he works in the gray areas, kind of.
He's gray. I mean, his ethical structure is really off. He's got like no scruples. His moral code is questionable. But he believes, he's got a big heart, and he believes in doing the right thing, even if he goes around the outside to get it done. And it causes collateral and it causes damage. So in that aspect, he means well. He's got a true and noble heart, but I'm going on and on and on and on. But this is what's wonderful about the fact that he then finds, and I don't want to give away spoilers, but he kind of finds his perfect opposite partner in this huge, great alien beast that arrives and lives rent-free in his body, and no one will believe him that it's there.
Let's talk about your character, Carlton Drake. Can you give us a little bit of insight as to what makes him tick?
Well, Carlton Drake is a genius, a billionaire, inventor, and he's made a lot of scientific breakthroughs in his time. And at this point, the Life Foundation, which is the organization he founded, is trying to answer the question of what does the future for humanity look like? Because planet Earth is almost done, as you saw in the footage. It's like we're on the brink of ecological and environmental collapse. So he thinks probably we've got a future in outer space. So it's in exploring that he comes across the symbiotes. And yeah, I don't want to give away too much after that. But it was interesting because obviously in the comics, he's part of this almost kind of committee of very rich, very powerful men who are thinking about about starting an exclusive club for people who might survive the nuclear apocalypse. Because those stories, at the time of those stories, the Cold War was taking place. So you just updated that and preserved the spirit of that storyline And actually, the biggest disaster we're facing isn't, the Cold War. It's the war that we're waging on our own planet.
Yeah.
So from Carlton Drake's point of view, he's really trying to do right by humanity, trying to ensure we've got a future. It's just that old saying, sometimes to make an omelette, you've got to break some eggs.
Yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah. Ruben, in the footage that we saw, there was another symbiote. Who was that? Although from the cheers from the crowd, I'm guessing they know who it is.
That was Riot. So for any of the fans of the Planet of the Symbiotes run, they'll probably remember Riot, and he is Venom's adversary. He's stronger, more powerful, and he has a unique trait in that he can occupy, well, he's not unique to him, as we all know, symbiotes can jump from different hosts, so in our movie, you never know quite where Riot's going to turn up.
Awesome. What can you tell us about any other?
There may or may not be other villains in the movie. I don't want to go into too much detail, but
I don't know what you guys
didn't hear from me. But yeah, we're definitely planning a huge world with this Venom story, and we want to be able to satisfy our own desires and the desires of fans to explore all of the beloved characters from the universe.
Awesome. So, well, let's talk about the women in the film. We've got Michelle Williams playing Eddie's ex-girlfriend, Anne. How was it working with Michelle, Tom?
Michelle is awesome. I wish she was here now, actually, she would love this. She's a brilliant actress, and like through and through. Like, there's nothing that actor cannot do. She's brilliant. And working with her, she's a consummate pro. She's super patient with me talking to myself all the time, trying to figure things out. She's a problem solver, and she's awesome. She's an awesome actress. So working with her is a delight, and I'm looking forward to doing more. Oh, I can't tell you. I was going to say something. I can't spoil that. But she's really good in this movie.
Yeah, she just brings such a warmth and humanity to the character, but she's really strong. I mean, that's as people remember from the comics, Anne Wang is a really strong character, and I think Michelle did her justice as far as just being, a worthy adversary to Eddie Brock. If Riot's an adversary to Venom, we can say that Anne is a worthy adversary to Eddie.
And you, Ruben, you actually know Michelle from back
I didn't
in the
know
day.
her. Yeah, my first job in Hollywood was being a PA on Dawson's Creek, so I've been Michelle Williams for a long time. I didn't get to talk to her at that time when I worked on the show, but now it was just, I've been admiring her career from afar, and what she's done, the role she's played, it was incredible to get to work with her. Like Tom said, there's just no one better. She's so good.
And Riz, how was it working with Jenny Slate? What's her character's role within the film?
Well, Jenny Slate, who I'm a massive fan of her as a performer and a comedian. She plays the lead scientist at the Life Foundation. So it was interesting because, I think she's going to be a real discovery for a lot of people in terms of the kind of role she plays. Here, she brings a lot of soul and warmth and humanity to this character, to this scientist. But in between takes, she just had us in stitches. She's so funny. She's just, I just really want us to be able to leak the footage of behind the scenes of what she was doing between takes. Because she's hilarious.
Pulling pranks, or is she telling jokes, or is she just really, whip smart?
She's just telling jokes, going off on crazy monologues, creating characters, and just the whole deal. DVD extras. Yeah.
Yeah, the Blu-ray extras. I love it. All right, well, Ruben, I actually want to go back to something that you said at the beginning, that there were no heroes in this film. So where does that leave Spider-Man?
I think we can all agree it would be pretty amazing to see Spider-Man and Venom face off in a film. And I know I can speak for myself when I say that I'd be really excited to go see that film. So I have to think that the studio is thinking the same way, and that at some point down the road, they're going to run across each other's paths.
Well, speaking of that, Tom Holland recently said that out of all the characters in the Marvel's universe, the one that he would most like to face off with is Venom. Yeah. So, how do you feel about that?
Who, me?
You ready to go face to face?
What, toe to toe with Tom Holland?
Yeah.
I'll have a go, yeah. You gotta have a go, ain't ya? Yeah, no, he's an awesome actor, and I'd love to work with him, and I love Spider-Man, so, but you know, who knows?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
He moves fast. Tom Holland's quick.
It'd be good fun, I would love to.
Ruben, do you think this is something potentially in the future?
Yeah, I have to think we'd all love to see that, so I can't wait for it.
Well, there you go, guys. Fans, make this happen. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.